Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra's lair. I'm your host, Larry, your wizarding Chupacabra here today, and we're going to be checking out Fictorum. It's a game that just came out. It's about a battle mage of sorts, or at least you play him in a very battle mage-y capacity, and he is known as the Fictorum. He is trying to escape from a marauding band of Inquisitors. It's like the Spanish Inquisition, but they, instead of converting just any old person with talent into a priest or a nun or a corpse, they're specifically after people who delve into magic. They consider it an evil corruption upon the land, and well, you know, you can't have cool powers and them not have cool powers, so that's why they're hunting us. That's about all I know, though. So we're gonna start a new game. I've already set up the save slot. And essentially the way that this works is, aside from difficulty mode, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. This game is kind of like FTL meets Lichdom Battle Mage in a third-person perspective where you just have to try and escape people. And get as much swag as you possibly can trying to escape the Inquisition. That might sound confusing, but it'll make sense in a moment here. So we got difficulty, we've got hardcore mode. I'm not that good at this game to try hardcore mode yet. We've also got the difficulty, which I just leave it on medium. That's basically normal. And the starting title down here is essentially what your starting magic or your starting spells are. So in this case, Firebrand, obviously it means you throw fire, things explode, people die. That's as straightforward as it gets in this game, honestly. Frostbound, you freeze people. They get slower, sometimes they freeze in place so you can, you know, shoot them easier. And then there's the Tempest. You can unlock a bunch of other ones as you get further and further through this game and get more experience. And then, you know, Tempest is Lightning Bolt. Sometimes it arcs and kills things. I have never gotten it to arc more than once or twice, though. And it doesn't do as much damage. It's fast. It's a fast spell, but it doesn't do as much damage. So I just kind of hang out with the Fireball, and I don't worry about it. We can customize our character if you really wanted to. Like, we could give him a nice sunburnt crispiness. I do love me some crispy bacon. I mean, his magic hand over here already kind of looks like it's made out of bacon. And then for hair color, what kind of hair color? We got like a brown, we could do a green. I'm thinking blue. I mean, it all just kind of turns to black eventually. We'll just leave it black. I mean, we're not really gonna see it. You kind of look at your character from behind, but you know, it makes it interesting. We'll make his robes kind of blue, and I think we'll leave the rest of the colors. I mean, if we're a rustic mage in a medieval society, a lot of colors are just gonna be brown. Brown's the color of leather and fabric, and it's cheap, and well, you gotta save money. We're trying to escape an Inquisition here. We can't just be blowing mad stacks on all the lovely ladies at every town we go to. We gotta save up. Gotta save up and schmooze the classy ones. So yeah, we're gonna jump in here and go off on an adventure. If anyone's curious, this is a $19.99 game, $20. It's made by Scraping Bottom Games, which is an indie group. Alright, so here's the starter. Some of this game has a little bit of voice acting, not a lot of it. But basically, this is an ongoing story of us, the Fictorum. So it says here, Chapter 1, Stretching the limits of his power, Chupacabra, the last known Fictorum, survived his own execution. But his body was warped with corruption. His mind flickered with the horrors he saw above and within the depths of the miasma. The Inquisition must have detected the burst of magical energy he caused. It would not be long until its endless armies were upon him. The way the Grand Inquisitor was marked by red nexuses on his map. He was responsible for what had happened to the Chupacabra and his order, and since he did not listen, he would burn for what he had done. So yeah, basically we were captured by the Inquisition. They killed us and I'm guessing an order of wizards. We have a cool name like the Fictorum, though, so I'm not 100% sure if that means something, if it doesn't mean something, if there's like, if we have the power of Bob Saget, you know, all those things. But it sounds cool. So we're gonna try and get us some of that sweet, sultry revenge. So over here is our goal, and the way that this works is we bounce from mountaintop to mountaintop, village to village, trying to escape the Inquisition, which will be hot on our heels very soon, and we try to reach here, which is the powerful, magical gateway that will take us to Chapter 2. And eventually, I guess we'll have an epic battle and kill the Inquisitor. It'll be great. We'll get some revenge, everyone will smile, or maybe everyone will think that we're corrupted and all the children will scream. One of the two things will probably happen. So, let's see here. We've got some unknown mountaintops. They don't really tell me much. This is a fancy house over here. This means that there's a vendor here that could heal us, or they could, you know, sell us stuff. And then over here is another vendor. And basically it's like FTL. As you progress, like, the wave of murder of the Inquisition follows hot on your heels. And you've just gotta try to avoid that. So I'm gonna go over here. This is a smaller mountain, probably a smaller town. Might be an easier town, so we'll see. So here we have it. Derwald. Unflappably curious, the Fictorum stopped to pore over an unusual tree in Derwald. He thought of an old friend, a botany enthusiast who spoke of plants in a way that almost made them seem more fantastic than the magic they studied together. He paused a moment, listening to an old rustling in the neighboring tree. I got some options here. Cautiously, the firebrand took 2 steps back. Magic sparking around his hands, he looked up the tree. Out, he growled. Or I could say, was fairly certain the sound was a harmless nature. He allowed himself the tiniest bit of mischievous glee and played along, whistling a bird call and gently lobbing a small stone at the upper branches. So this could be something that could kill me, someone who's suspicious of me, or it could just be a bird. The wizard was not worried about what lurked in the tree. He wasted too much time on the detour as it was. He exited swiftly and soundlessly left the meadow. Well, let's not threaten the locals just yet. Let's try number 2. The wizard decided to see how these pranksters could handle a bit of his own, or trick of his own design. He set fire to a nearby shrub and yelled maniacally. Oh wait, no, that's not what it said. Chalupa Lord stepped to the side just as 3 children jumped off the tree, completely missing their intended target with groans of disappointment. So, I could tell him a horror story involving goblins, angry crab-human hybrids, and naughty children, or I'll just do this one. The children jumped and ran, though one lingered a moment, fascinated by the turn of events. She looked up at the firebrand curiously before chasing after her friends. After she disappeared into the wood, Chalupa Lord noticed a pair of gloves on the ground. He trotted down the path they had taken and called after them to return the item. Not above stealing from children, he pocketed the gloves and continued towards the Nexus. Okay, so that wasn't an actual town. Like, we didn't actually go in there and do stuff, but you can sometimes. There is actual combat, I promise. Don't stick with me. So, what's next? I'm just gonna keep plodding ahead. Let's just jump up to here and see what we got. Nalf's Peak. A pale, rotund man in a fine green leather tunic approached the Chalupa Lord as he passed through a small mining settlement towards Nalf's Peak. After a very polite greeting, he quickly got down to business. There is profitable mining operation to be had not far from here, but the townsfolk won't part with the land. With the flurry of news following you, I imagine that you are quite capable. If some key buildings were to suddenly have some structural issues, and he paused with a mock of surprise for dramatic effect, tragically collapse, I believe that would be convince the citizens of Shalehold to part with the property. I'd pay you quite well for your assistance. So I could get the money, or I could just say begone. I should note that everyone in this world hates wizards, or for the most part. Wizards hate other wizards, and pretty much everyone wants to kill me. So, killing them probably wouldn't be a moral quandary for me. Do we want to be good? Do we want to be bad? Let's go bust up the place, because I want to actually show you guys the combat. Was that it? No shit. I promise there's combat. I promise. Let's go up here. Alright. Can we go do a thing now? Despite the heavy rain, Chalupa Lord's travel was easy that day, a welcome surprise. Incredibly, the The townsfolk of Payson were friendly to the Fictorum, and they offered him a place to rest. Alright, let's rest. The Fictorum was grateful for the hospitality of the villagers. He had barely been seated in the tavern when he heard terrified screams of innocents fleeing from marauding force of the corrupted. There would be no rest for anyone, Chalupa Lord thought, eyes flashing. Alright, so I guess we're gonna fight something now. Properly. Excellent, I love it. Okay, so the way that this works is that there's like this evil miasma, and it corrupts people. It's the magic of this world, and it murders the shit out of people. And if you survive, it twists and mutates you like this thing, and turns you into like a creature. Kinda looks like an extraterrestrial almost, if I had to describe it. So we just blast them. That's how that works. And then we just try to get through here. Now, the goal of every one of these... Okay, that was one that explodes, in case you were curious why that got really intense really quick. But the goal of each one of these towns is after you're done, you know, marauding around, saving people and or killing people, then you have to destroy a bunch of towers that are guarding a teleporter so that you can unlock and utilize the teleporter. Otherwise, they'll be blocked off and you'll constantly be harassed by everybody in the vicinity. And that gives you some options. You can either kill everybody and loot everything, or if you're feeling a little bit harassed or a little bit molested, you can just go ahead and leave. Like, there's really nothing keeping you there. Looks like I'm here to protect these townspeople. They were nice to me, so I'm not going to rob them. But the way that this works otherwise is, A, we can teleport with Q to stay away from anything that wants to get busy with our backside or try to stab us with magic. And we can go and we can rob the place if we wanted to. You're basically just looking for a dresser drawer or something that's glowing. But I'm guessing because we're not robbing the place, we're supposed to be protecting it, we don't really have the option to steal anything. Now, going inside of a building is kind of a double-edged sword, because it means that things can sneak up on you, like this exploder. These things will one-shot kill you if they get up to you. They're like giant goo bags of magic. So you gotta be careful. The other option is you can literally blast some of these buildings with magic, and if you blast them, all of the stuff inside of them, well, the whole thing shatters, and then everything of value inside of it becomes yours in the form of magic dust. Magic dust in this world is used as currency, it's used to enchant stuff for your inventory, so on and so forth. That's really all there is to it. Oh yeah, there's also this other magical component where we can use adjusting runes to make our magic stronger and blast the pants off of things. That's kind of nice if you got a big nasty group of enemies or one particularly big dangerous enemy. A lot of these enemies are just kind of trash mobs, especially early on. In fact, you don't always have to fight big waves of these corrupted. Most of the time it's just people who are dicks. Now, if you run out of mana in a game like this and you find yourself being harried a lot, you will be able to convert your health into magic. The downside is it's really hard to heal in this game, or if you can, it's really expensive, and you're always threading the needle between the Inquisition catching up to you and having enough resources to continually kill things without dying. Now, my main complaint about this game is that the combat is all very in your face. All of the enemies, they really only have one mode. They run at you and shoot you or stab you. They don't duck behind cover, they don't act clever, they just try to kill you. Now that's fine. I mean, it's not crazy interesting. I was expecting a little bit more dynamic gameplay than that, but it's not the worst gameplay I've seen in a game like this. If you're coming from a game like FTL, because this game does have some of those randomly generated elements, like these random levels and everything, then you might be a little disappointed. Because FTL is very strategic, it's very involved. This game, it can be strategic depending on the enemy, but for the most part it's not. At least I haven't found it to be so. Maybe I just need to bump up the combat, but again, if the combat's already just... Oh, shit, this guy's, like, invisible and magic and shit. You sneaky bastard. Where the hell did you go? Oh, there you are. Get out of here. You're not friends. Just make sure you're dead. So there's... I thought my mission said that we were out of enemies, but I guess we only had to kill a few of them. There are still some around. So yeah, then we just go through the portal and this level is over. That's the whole spiel. So as a reward, we got some booties and we got some magic runes that will stun people. So if I use that magic expander menu that you saw and activate the stun rune, it'll cause my magic to stun, which I think will be good. Oh wait, these are only usable for lightning spells. Well, poop. So lightning does stun people, it's kind of nice. I just wish it did more damage. So we have a little bit of this magic essence. Not a lot. I'd prefer to have more. But that's fine. The boots we got are armored boots. There's basically two types of armor or gear in this game. There's gear that gives you magic properties, and there's gear that gives you physical properties. I don't like the armored gear because I think it's kind of poopy. Because I'm a mage. I want to blast people harder. If things get close enough to touch my giblets, then I've messed up, and that's not good. And I think that's a much more dependable strategy than what I'm currently doing. So I'm just gonna, I could go to a vendor. That's definitely an option. There's a vendor here that could heal me. Basically, the only way for you to heal is to click this rest button and waste a day while the Inquisition back here catches up to you. Or you pay a bunch of money to this guy to heal you. I don't really need to do that, so I'm not too worried. I'm actually going to skirt this way to go and visit this teleporter and see what that gets me. So what's the next part of the story say? The long-abandoned hills of Quarre had not felt the touch of rain in several seasons. The unknown forces of the world had twisted sense of humor, bringing both Chalupa Lord to the unfortunate hills the same day it was pelted by another miasma storm. So that means more horrors. When I was playing this before, I saw one group of these beasts that appeared with the miasma, and then it was just people. I'm okay with the miasma beasts. They're pretty easy to kill, so they don't bother me terribly. I just don't like being in these, like, little confined spaces with any enemy that could shoot me. Or sneak up on you, because, again, those explodey guys, they will... Here's one right now. Nope. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, see that guy? He's gonna try and give me the worst hug of my life. And I am not into it at all. Alright, so we got two guys. Let's blast up some magic. And then zip, zop, zoop that guy. And that didn't really... Oh, god damn it. Can we restart this? I don't want to, like, lose health, but that's about all I've got. Okay, let's get away from you. That's exactly what I don't like. Okay, so it doesn't one-shot you. What killed me before when I was playing? I could have sworn something was one-shotting me, but maybe I just got unlucky and stood next to something else that also explodes. So that's, that's what you get in these little... I think these are procedural. These are definitely not the levels I played before. So the roguelite aspect is definitely present here. So you gotta be careful. There is always stuff around each corner that really wants to get in touch with your insides. In a very literal way. Probably, if I had to guess, these things probably want to eat you. They're probably not super big on friendship by any means. So that guy's toast. Some of these guys take a couple hits, I will say. Oh, this is invisible dudes. They're invisible. I don't like it. I don't like it. Go away. Okay, that guy's toast. Alright, that guy's toast. Hey, they dropped some goodies. So whenever you see one of the enemies have like a little thing, a splotch appear above their head, that means they gave you goodies. It means bacon. And, well, I mean, it means one of two things. Looks like I got a new spell. Bound spell? I don't know what that does. What do you do? Plasma ball. Oh, okay. So I can shoot plasma now. So that guy gave me a spell. Sometimes they give you just magic essence, sometimes they give you gear. It really just depends. And that plasma ball is going on a vacation. Just look at it go. Look at him go. I'm so proud of you, plasma ball. You're your own man. You're a man's plasma ball. Good for you. Probably more invisible stuff down here. I'm completely fine with invisible things as long as they're not like the Invisible Man, constantly trying to touch people inappropriately while they're doing things. You know that Invisible Man, always such a scamp. Okay, so let's just, ooh, those plasma balls do a lot of damage. I like that. That was tasty. All right, that was a really good drop. All right. You know, I don't remember a lot from the Hollow Man movie where he, like, what was it, Kevin Bacon got turned invisible? Remember there was an Invisible Man show from the Sci-Fi Channel where he was like a secret agent? And I mean, let's be honest, being able to turn invisible is probably the ultimate secret agent skill. Trouble with that guy was that if he went invisible too much, it would make him go bonkers. And that's probably not good. So I guess this level was literally just survive the Greeblies and hope that you're all right. So we got 5 dust, we got a book, the plasma ball, and we also got the Nova spell. And that's only usable on area spells. It increases the mana cost, 98% splash damage bonus, and 244 splash radius bonus. Minus all of the range, though. So that's kind of poopy, but that could be useful. Don't quote me on this, but I don't think you can actually hurt yourself with your own spells. So, I'm gonna rest and get some organs back. As you can see, the Inquisition is busy taking over towns, probably, you know, doing all that whipping that they do. Those darn cultist types. I know my pals, the Button Masher Bros, are playing like a cult simulator, and they were all about that whipping the infidels. So what do we got here? Gray Wilderness. The dark indigo dawn curled herself around the Chalupa Lord. Accompanied by a silent snowfall, stiff and sore from the hard ground, he unraveled himself from his bedroll with beautiful strings of curses. That's him, said a loud whisper that was thought quiet. Shh, said another. It's far too early for this sort of nonsense. The firebrand immediately strode to the source of the noise. It's far too early for this sort of nonsense, packed the few pieces of his camp and left. Let's kill him. 2 young men, assumedly brothers with scruffy hair and boyish faces, looked up from the underbrush where they were nestled. They slowly stood. The grumpy wizard scowled above them with his arms folded. The smaller one said anxiously, "We're sorry to bother you, sir, but we need your help. Our big brother has a talent for magic, and the Inquisition took him last night. They didn't say where they were taking him, but we know that the Fort Calamire is close." Huh, he nodded and handed the boy his map and quill. "I'm sorry, but I cannot," said the wizard. "Yeah, let's help the stupid kids. They might be trying to trick us, but I can always kill them later." "Thank you, Mr. Fictorum. If you disable the soldiers, Frim should be able to make his way home to us." So I guess the Inquisition is really big on, do I not have to actually fight anything? Okay. So yeah, methinketh the Inquisition does not like magic casters of any variety. So let's go up here. Now, if I was a gambling man, I would probably play this more like I would play FTL. Because the idea is you want to accrue as much resources as you can before you go to the next leg of your trip. You want more spells, you want more runes to enhance your spells, you want more magic dust, you want more gear. I don't know. I haven't been supremely butted up against tremendous challenges in this game yet, so I just tend not to worry about it. So, Dricht was kicking rocks off the edge of the mountain. This wasn't the first day the blacksmith shop was being robbed by the local bandits. Dricht noticed the strange traveler passing him by. Seeing the glow of the corruption seeping out of the Chalupa Lord's hood, "You're the firebrand," Dricht gave out a hearty laugh. "There are bandits looting my shop and bothering the townsfolk up ahead. If you take out their leader, I'll reward you with something from my shop." Alright, I like free stuff, what can I say? I mean, I don't like it free stuff enough to die for it, or to give up, you know, some moral compass of some sort, but hey, free stuff. So this is probably going to be one of those examples of where the enemies are just going to kind of run at me. They're probably going to be archers. Archers are really easy to deal with on the whole. They're, yeah, there's really nothing to say. It's really the people that come up and try to touch you in the face that I'm really at odds with. So there's just a bunch of people. Oh, hey, it's the banditos. Oh, there goes like half of them, including a building. So I should mention, this doesn't strike me as a game that would have... Wow, I really just torched all of them like instantly. Okay. Did I kill the... Ow. Okay. So what I was trying to say is this building, this whole thing with the physics, the buildings are a greater danger to you than a lot of other stuff in this game. Like these soldiers, whatever. They're not that dangerous. The mages, the other wizards, yeah, they'll mess you right up. They'll fuck up your day. But for the most part, a lot of these enemies are pretty... Hey! Road. Did you just teleport? Where did you go? Okay, well... Clearly you're being a butt, so I'm just gonna use fire. Everyone loves fire. It's a simple solution. It's the international hey, no one, hey, get out of here, you butt. See now, this is where it becomes a big problem when you're stuck in a house and there's a dude behind you and then you get stabbed and then you get a fireball to the face. Now everybody's having a bad day. And now I'm just kind of crusty and rowdy. So, where are we at? We can basically destroy everything in this game. Everything kind of just goes up like a firecracker. And I kind of like that. It's kind of entertaining. So if I destroy all these houses, I give up my opportunity to loot them. And I also create deadly shrapnel, which could kill me. It won't kill me outright, but it does damage. And I don't, you know, I guess it makes sense. It's just not what I was expecting from this game. I was just expecting people to be the big problem. So that takes care of that. Let's just snipe these buildings from over here while it's the easiest. And then we'll just get out of here. We've killed the bandits. The guy will give us a thing. Maybe we'll have enough money so that we can get out of here and actually heal or something else. You are very unlikely to find any, like, real healing items in this game, besides just paying money to have it done or resting. So it's kind of the trade-off, and it's very punishing. This game goes from 0 to 60 in like a split second. It's actually, I don't know. I feel like it could ramp up more. It's weird. I don't dislike it, it's just not something I'm used to. So we found magical armor. This looks really good, actually. Increases our movement speed, our health, our resistances. Looks like we actually kind of got like almost a duplicate. This one looks pretty good. The event reward. All right, sweet. So what are these arrows? These arrows look like they're quests, probably. Let's rest because I need organs back. As the Inquisition gets ever closer, I could go to one of these like forts. I think that's the fort that the kids wanted me to save their brother. But yeah, sure. Let's go to this one. I got time for one. So the village of Shalehold awaited the Fictorum on a bright and chilly morning, nestled in the sleepy hills, ripe with ore and precious stones. Tulip Lord analyzed the various buildings from a distance and chose a few targets that appeared to be important to the town. So yeah, I like the story of this a bit more than I like the actual gameplay. The gameplay, again, it's not terrible, it's not that exciting. Stuff just goes for the face. That's it. I mean, I don't need it to be the most engaging or complex combat, certainly. I know that I definitely don't want another Lichdom battlemage. Because the problem with Lichdom battlemage was simply that it became a grindy mess. You could only get hit like 3 times, so what exactly were you gonna win out with? So, you know, whatever. I don't know which one of these are quest structures, so I'm just gonna torch everything. Actually, it's probably that one. It looks like it's got a hunter's mark on it from WoW. Hey, it's a mage! It's one of the frost ones. They're kind of dicks. So I'm gonna try and scoot you in the face real quick. How did you not take that full blast to the face? I'm confused. There we go. That's A. Oh, not the... Really? You're just hiding out back here, huh? So that's the electric, dude. The electricity that we would have started out with was a lightning bolt. That's the ball. The ball does a lot of damage. Well, a fair bit of damage. I wouldn't say a ton of damage. And... well, it stuns you. It stuns you and makes you vulnerable to everything. And that's not necessarily bad unless you're fighting mages. Some of these towns, they're literally filled with nothing but mages. Which means that if one of them stuns you, that's a fireball up your fanny. And that's not exactly... I don't wake up in the morning and be like, man, I just wish I could get a fireball in the ass. That would really just make my life a million times better. Wouldn't need coffee anymore with the old fireball in the butt. And maybe that's what Japan needs. You know, they got all those vending machines. Maybe they just need one that puts a fireball up your butt. Maybe that's what Japan is really missing. I'm gonna call Hideo Kojima's former bosses and say, look, if you guys thought about a pachinko machine, fireball in the butt. Think about it now. Fireball in the butt. It's real tempting, I know. So these guys are actually pretty easy to dodge. They shoot where you were going. Just go the other direction. Got some guards. The guards, pretty easy to deal with, unless they've got a magic shield like this guy. So then you gotta shoot the shield off before you can shoot him. So he gave me a spell. I'm not sure what it is. That looked cool, whatever that was. Yeah, that was a swoosh. That was a mighty swoosh. I'm gonna look at that when we're done here, because I have not seen that one before. I had a wall, I had a flamethrower, and I had a meteor strike. The thing I didn't like about the meteor strike, though, was that the meteor strike, while gigantic and dangerous, took a bit to cast and took all your mana, so it was kind of a pain. Ow. Really? Really? That small debris smacking into me did way more damage than literally anything else in this game. Even this dude who's like really excited. Are you serious? This dude is just not gonna quit. There we go. That's better. Where did you even come from? I've literally killed everyone else here. This might be a short like episodic series here. Okay, you're not dangerous. That's a house. That takes care of that. As you can see, lots of goodies to be had in there. Lots of magical dust. There's one more oh, that's gonna kill me. There's one more house, and then we can get out of here. Is this what I need to save that kid? Just distract this, and then he'll get himself free? I guess if he's magic like me, if he's got the magic in him, every time he touches that track, it turns into gold, then he should be fine, I'd imagine. Can I destroy this? Is that a thing I can... Oh, it doesn't even interact. Oh, it does, but I can't destroy it. So it's funny. Some of the parts of this story don't make a ton of sense to me, like the idea of having things like, well, a magic teleporting thing in your town, but then don't like people with magic, so I don't know. So, do I have time? No, I'm just gonna go. Alright, what does this say? Baron Meroth awoke early on the day that may have very well been his last. He had a long day ahead of him, filled with meetings with important members of the local populace in which he would deny them food, supplies, and able-bodied men for the protection against bandits and the new corrupted threat. Why would the Baron do that? That seems rude. Well, he's about to get killed. I'm a nice wizard. What can I say? I appreciate the people. So let's see here. So this is probably going to be filled with defenders. Defenders that want me dead. I don't have to fight them if I don't want to, and I don't. And I also forgot to look up what this other spell did, so there you have it. So what's up at the tippy top of this old mountain, governor? It's probably a teleporter. There's a Baron around here somewhere. I should kill his ass. There he is. Oh, here's the people. Look at them. They're fancy. They're so fancy. They're about to have a really, really, really bad day. Yep, that's all I got for you, really. Bad day, murder. There we go. Just line them up for me, boys, everyone. There's plenty for Lair, everyone. Everybody. Hey, that guy just took off and ran. He's like, nope. Brutus dead? Nah, that's not a thing. Oh, come on. Oh, jeez. Alright, well. That's the end of the Fictorum right there. That's what I get for trying to help those kids. So, I can either end it here, or I can rewrite history, which is a nice way of saying, try it again, Skippy. We'll do that next time. So that'll be it for this episode, everybody. I've been your host, Larry. This has been a look at Fictorum. I'm not going to do a lot of it. I mean, if you're interested in this game, I suggest you go check it out for yourselves. It's quite interesting. But yeah, I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody, and toodles.